it because we
I love
literally lost it, stupid.
Damn.
Dude. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna talk about taking responsibility and how these days you could be 100% certain that somebody said something to you, and you could bring it up later in life, and they will not take responsibility for what they said. Or if it was an action that they did, they won't take responsibility for it, whether it was 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. And that goes back to regulating your emotions and being
Sorry.
able to understand what things make you feel and being able to take responsibility for what you did when you felt that way and being able to realize what puts you in the situations where you're going to act out of character or you're going to act out of speech, and then you're no longer and you're not going to want to take responsibility for what you said or what you did when you weren't regulating your emotions and you weren't feeling what you were feeling and you weren't understanding why it made you feel that way. So you acted out of character in a way that you don't like and you don't believe is you. When it is you, you just don't know how to control it. And you're putting yourself in situations that are going to make you act this certain way or say these certain things and be a certain person of who you are. Once you learn how to understand the way you feel and the way things make you respond and the way things make you act and the way things make you talk, you'll no longer be doing these things that are out of character that you don't want to take responsibility for. But in order to do that, you need to learn to take responsibility for these actions and for these actions and for these things that you're doing. And then you need to come to terms with the fact that you acted that way or you said those things. Take responsibility, reflect on why you acted that way or why you said those things, and then understand emotionally why all of this is happening, and then you no longer give a fuck whether you no longer give a fuck that you did that,
Yeah.
because now you could come up to me and be like, yo, you did this, and I'll be like, yeah, yep. Want to know why? And then I tell you why. I literally, anytime anybody asks me why the fuck you did it, I literally can give them a reason why, the reason that made me do it, and how it makes me feel. It may not be right away that I can do that, but like after a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to after people's emotions, I tend to after I treat them badly or something, or if I rude time and don't mean to, I tend to feel bad after. That's new. I'm actually discovering that myself. It's crazy.
You know what's crazy, Brendan? The more you hang out with me, the more you come to realization with things.
Yeah.
You like listen to what I say and then you come to realization with things and then you come to me and you're like, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, guess what? I told you to do that. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things like the past I wish I could redo, but I can't. So people will always think of me as that person. And
Yeah.
that's what hurts. I can't control that feeling. I can't control others people's feelings, and people's are already made up their minds. And that's why
You
it's hard.
forgive and you forget though. You got to understand your emotions,
When I'm out,
then understand their emotions and understand why they
well,
don't forgive you, because they can't forgive themselves and forgive what they do,
well,
right?
well,
All these people,
well,
right?
it's like
All these people
here.
that can't forgive you can't forgive themselves for something they've done, right?
Well,
So how are they going to forgive you for what you've done, Brandon?
uh,
You're going to change, but they're not going to see it because they don't know how to forgive themselves. So how could they forgive you?
but then how can they forgive themselves if they're not doing anything to me? Like to feel that
No.
way.
But listen, they've done things in their past. They've
Mm.
done things in their past, right? All of these people have. Your whole family has done things in their past. They don't know how to forgive themselves
Oh yeah.
for what they've done, so they can't forgive you for what you've done. Why do you think your mother has so many husbands? She doesn't know how to forgive herself for what she's done, So how is she going to forgive all of these husbands for the way that they're acting or the things that they're doing? Because what does she do? She divorces them when they do something wrong, right?
Oh, when she gets bored,
Or
usually.
she gets bored. Exactly.
It's just like, I don't know, people, I don't know, like once I'm out of here, I'll be perfectly fine. It's just I'm in it all the time, and yeah.
Exactly. That's removing the negative from your life. But you're also getting better. You know what I mean? Like you're starting to like come to terms with like things in your head, and I can like see it.
Well, like I hated it how I treated people badly back then, but like I wish I could redo stuff. So that's what hurts. Is like it's constantly brought up, and it's like the more you fucking bring it up, the more like when they bring it up, the more I want to fucking kill myself. It's
Yeah.
like
So what you need to do, which easier said than done, yes, obviously I believe that, but you wish you could change that. So obviously you are a different person. That's not who you are, and that's not who you want to be.
oh, I've gone so far to look at those $35 tiny homeless houses that they have on Zuni, Louisiana, to rent one just to get out, and I can't because I can't have a criminal record, which makes no sense.
Buy a van and just move.
So
Anyways,
like
but
I'm trying,
you
but
don't want to be that way.
no,
You don't
I hate being a
exactly.
dick back when I have
Okay.
to.
So forgive yourself for how you acted in the past and then forget about it. And who cares? All these people that are bringing it up,
No, I forgave
yeah,
myself.
exactly.
It's
See,
the fact that they
they're
bring it
never
up.
gonna forgive you because they don't know how to forgive themselves. And you have to understand that. That's why you just have to remove them. But you're working on that, so you're gonna get there. You took
Eventually.
responsibility for your actions. You took responsibility for how you acted towards them. You've changed how you act. You've changed how you are and who you are.
It's the
And
people that always they don't see
exactly,
me
but
every day.
that's because they don't know how to take responsibility for their actions. Like all these people that you're talking about that like put you down and like bring up the shit that you've done in the past are people who don't know how to take responsibility for their own actions or for what they say, and they also don't know how to deal with their emotions. They don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to do all these things that we were talking about. So they're pouring the negativity onto you. If people are pouring negativity onto you and they're just giving you negative, 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 and that's all they're giving you, and they're not bringing positive light into your life, you need to learn how to subtract the negative so you can have more positive and you can live more freely and you can enjoy your life more. A lot of people don't enjoy their life because they don't know how to get rid of the negativity. They're too scared to let go of something that is bringing them so much negative because they think that the positive is overlapping the negative. But in all reality, if you're sitting here and you're sad and you don't like your life and you're like, oh my God, I hate my life, or you're like, there's so much negative, there's so much bad going on around me, then there's something in your life that is bringing you negative and positive, and you're just too scared to let go of that positive. When you could find a better positive environment, outcome, anything that has less negative and is less diminishing on your life and your happiness. And the second you learn that, the second you let go of one thing that is so negative that is bringing you down, and literally the second that you let go of that, you're going to be like, oh my God, that was so much easy. That was so easy. Life is so much easier now that that is gone. I have so much more positivity. I am so much happier. And then you can just let go of things easy, just like that. You could just snap of the fingers. You could be like, gone. Just because you realized how much it affects you and how much easier life is without so much negative. It's crazy to think about that, like you could just get rid of one thing and like you could be mind blown and your mind could be so open, but I'm not even joking. I hope whoever listens just like actually takes this in. But we were not, on that note, I just want to put in here, we were not meant to feel pain and anxiety and stress. We weren't meant to have all of this on our shoulders. We were meant to carry all of this anxiety and hurt and pain. We were never supposed to carry that. Our bodies were not built for that. Our mind, our soul, it was not built to carry all of this anxiety and all of this pain and all of this suffering that a lot of people do. We weren't meant for that. And if you do carry all of that, it will eventually break you. And nobody deserves that. A lot of people think that I hate being alone or whatever, but actually like love it. Like that's when I feel safe. That's when I know that nobody could be feeding me like these things, these lies, or nobody could be feeding me with like things that I don't want. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then nobody can touch me. Like nobody can hurt me.
Yeah.
Nobody's able to touch me, dude. That's why I'm so but anyway, you walking is like me at the gym. I like feeling that pain that you hate when we're at the gym and you did legs with me and you were like, fucking, I love that feeling. I love the feeling that when I like try to like pick up my arm or I try to like move my leg or step, I can barely do it because of how much pain I'm in. Like, but that goes back to like the feeling numb thing
I think it all comes down
because I'd
to
rather not feel numb.
feeling love. I miss. Well, I can't say it, but like I miss the game sometimes because like, huh? You could beep it. I just can't say the name. Um, I miss her sometimes because like there was love. Here I don't get love, so like the lack of love makes
I'm
you
gonna
that way.
I'm gonna stop you right there. You don't miss her. You miss the feeling of being in love. You miss the feeling of having a family. You miss the feeling of have somebody there for you and being loved. You don't miss her.
Oh, I miss. Oh, I kind of do. I actually
What do
do.
you miss?
But I won't go back to her now.
Name
But I
5
do.
things you miss about her.
Her personality,
I need 5 specific
her
things.
laughter. I mean, her hugs. She actually gives
Yeah,
me
that's all
hugs.
stupid.
Um,
That's all
she's a
feelings
good
that you can
mom.
get
She
from
is a good
anybody.
mom.
That's
Um,
also something you could get
well, no matter
from
what, she
anybody.
was. She.
See, Brendan,
mm,
here's the problem with um people these days, okay? Things you are naming, you can get from anybody. You can receive good hugs from anybody. You can receive good parenting from anybody. You can receive affection from anybody. You can receive a good laugh from anybody. You could like anybody's
But
laugh.
her as a person, it's nobody else. Just her.
What
Just
about her? You're naming nothing specific about her, Brandon.
name something about somebody that you
I
like.
don't love anybody. I don't miss
Well,
anybody. That's
everybody
the
has
thing.
different love types. I don't know. Mine is certain. It's not. It's not based on anything. It's just
This is
history.
this is how I know that like how to be alone, Brandon, because I don't miss anybody. I sometimes miss the affection, or I sometimes miss the feeling of having a future with somebody. But I don't miss a single person because I can sit here alone and I can think to myself, what do I actually like about this person? What do I actually see in them that is going to bring me further in life? You're over here sitting here missing affection and love and the way somebody laughs. That's not
No,
missing a
well, there's more
person.
to it. I'm just not gonna say it. But yeah,
See, but I could care about a lot of people the way that I think you care about. But if you don't want to be with them, do you really miss them?
yeah,
But you would never be with her again. A lot of the time in this situation where oh shit, sorry, I almost just fell. A lot of the time in this situation where you're missing a person and you're just like, "Oh, I just wish they didn't treat me that way." You could sit back and you could look at how they treat their friends, their family, and everybody who has been in their life, everybody who was in y'all's life together, and look at how they treated them, look at how they reacted at situations, and look at just really take in the vibe that they were giving off. And then look at the vibe of why you guys' relationship ended in the first place. Why did y'all break up? What broke y'all? And then look at who they are as a person. Like, do you actually like them, their personality, how they react? Basically, everything I just said. I understand that a person can change. I understand that somebody could go through a learning experience and they can change how they react and how they act towards a person. And if so, go ahead. Be in love. Little feelings you get inside your head and sit here and ask yourself, what do I miss? Do I miss someone always like being there? And then rewind. Were they actually there? Do I miss how they touched me? Do I miss the hugs the emotion, the connection, rewind, you can get that from anybody. You can get connection from a random person driving the car next to you. You could turn your head at a light and you could get a connection with somebody. You could click right there. So was that connection a relationship connection? Was that connection something that's going to bring you to marriage? Was that connection something that's going to push you to be a better person? That's going to push you to do everything that you've been wanting to do in your life? Is that connection going to make you the person that you were set out to be? And if it is, then that is what a relationship is supposed to be. Everybody thinks that relationships nowadays is all about, oh my God, they love me. Oh my God, they're buying me things. Oh my God, they're taking me out to dinner. Oh my God, they're here for me. When in all reality, a relationship is like supposed to push you to be a better person. It's supposed to push you to become the person that you were meant to be, the person that you were set out to be. And if the person that you were with or the person that you are interested in is taking you away from everything that you like and taking you away from everything that you want to accomplish and everything that you want to be and everything that you want to become, then you shouldn't be with them. And if they're diminishing you, you shouldn't be with them. But if they are pushing you and they are solely pushing you to accomplish everything in life that you want, and you're becoming this amazing person that you are falling in love with as this person who is pushing you to become this person is falling in love with, that is the most beautiful thing in the world. And that is what a relationship should look like.
Our generation are just so like people treat each other so shitty that it's like impossible.
And then they don't take responsibility for that, so they don't change.
Yeah. Yeah, and all that smoke came out of me. Holy shit.
Dude, I don't.
Um,
If people, I believe that like some of these relationships that were uh, good with quotation marks or whatever, if people knew how to like take responsibility for what they did to that person, the relationship would then actually be able to grow, and they would actually be able to have something, and then that love would be able to rekindle, and then people would actually feel what love is, because that person that you think that you're in love with is actually taking responsibility, and they're actually showing you that they care about what pain your actions caused them. Does that make sense? And then relationships would be good and they would work. Take
Yeah.
back from our podcast from last week, if people didn't assume if people felt a certain way about something, or that people were out doing something, and then they went and they communicated, and then they took responsibility for the action that they did to hurt the other's feelings, the person would feel loved because they're being heard and they're being taken care of. And then love is reciprocated, because then when that person comes to them with feelings, they're taking responsibility for how they made them feel. And then it's just going in a big circle, and that is what 95 and 5% is. That's what giving 60 and the other giving 40 is. When somebody is coming to you with your feelings about something that you did and it hurt them, or it made them angry, or it like did something to them, and you take responsibility for it, and then you like go from their perspective and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I did do that, and I'm sorry that me doing that did that to you. And then that person actually feels heard, understood, and like they're gonna change it. You know what I mean? But then you have to go and you have to put action into it. You actually have to like go and try not to do that. But it's all about taking responsibility for your own actions and the own things you say.
yeah. Not gonna lie, I literally had a fucking good thing for that, and I forgot as you were ending. God, see, this is why sometimes I hate smoking, because I get so focused in on it, then like out of nowhere it goes away. Um, yeah, I tend to take it. I think more now than ever. I feel now that I back to our old topic, hurting the people I've hurt. I feel like taking responsibility I've done, and it hurts to like when you take the responsibility and they don't see that, and they demand that you take it, but then they say, "Oh, you're lying, you're faking it." So it's like, you know what, take it or leave it. Then it's like you're continuing to apologize to people, you know. So it's like I tell my family all the time, "Accuse me of anything you want. I'll admit to it, but don't say this." Like I'll take responsibility of my own actions. If I treat someone wrong, or if I'm a bitch, I'll say I'm sorry. Like, or I'll say, you know what, I'm not mad, or you know. But like after being a bitch, I tend to feel bad, and I actually will go home, or I'll go like I'll secretly like cry to myself because deep down it hurts now. Like, because I feel like you know how it feels. But taking responsibility, I'm doing more now than ever, and people, you could take it or leave it.
Being off of like our earlier topic of uh, forgive and forget and actually like feeling, I think
Yeah,
being able to actually feel my emotions has a lot to do with the fact that for a long time I was numb,
yeah,
and then you start to feel all of these things and you actually can differentiate, because a lot of people who haven't actually felt the feeling of being numb are like, I wish I was just numb, I wish I didn't feel this pain, blah 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 blah. And people come to me and they say that, and it literally kills me. Like, it's like, why would you want to feel that way? Like, obviously they don't understand what it actually feels like, but why would you want to feel that way? We were like,
yeah,
it's so bizarre. So I think having been feeling numb, I can actually feel my emotions, and I actually want to go through and pick at them and understand. And it is really hard to do with like six different people because we all feel
yeah,
different ways about different things, which makes my life fucking hard. But that's why I live one moment at a time, and then I go and I feel those emotions later. Like, I write them down and then I understand.
yeah. I
But
hate
that's taking
people.
responsibility.
Yeah, one thing I do hate is when people, when they say take responsibility, but they don't do it themselves. Hypocrites.
Amen. I hate when people do that. I used to
It's like I know
a
what I
big
did, but you needed to admit
a big
what you
thing
did.
for me when I was 12 and like 13, I was living in my grandma's house,
Yeah,
and I didn't do my own laundry. Like, I didn't do my own. I'm learning how to do my own laundry. Like, my mom is trying to teach me how to do my own laundry, but I forget. So, actually, I think I was doing my own laundry. Okay, I don't know. But anyway, I forgot my soccer socks one day, and I could not, and we were running late, and I could not find them. Okay, I could not find them. And somebody goes, I wish you were fucking responsible for once in your life. You're so irresponsible and blah 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 blah. And I was like,
it's like it's
I was
like
like, yo,
I don't
it's
even
a
work here.
sock.
Literally, literally,
It's a fucking sock, bro. Oh yes, let
literally.
me take responsibility for the fact that I lost my sock.
Hmm.
I was 12 and I lost a sock.
Hypocrites.
Like, what? And then
Hmm.
these are the people who I go like don't take responsibility for the fact that their husband sexually assaulted me. But I need to take responsibility for the fact that I lost a sock.
Yeah. Mm.
Crazy.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think a lot of a lot of people. I don't like hip. I don't like. I really don't like hypocrites.
People coming to us and saying, "Oh yeah, but you're acting this way and you're acting this way. That's why I'm acting this way." They're trying to like
Get a
they're
reaction out of you.
no, they come to us and they say, "Oh well, I'm just acting that way because this and this and this and this. I started acting that way because you're acting like this. I started acting like a bitch because you're a bitch."
Yeah.
Okay, tell me I'm being a bitch, and I'll take responsibility for my
Instead of
actions.
dragging it on.
Why are you trying to be like,
Yeah.
oh no, I can act this way because you're acting this way? Take
Yeah.
responsibility for the fact that you're acting like a bitch. Say, hey JL, you're acting like a bitch, and I started acting like a bitch, and that's fucked up. I'll stop acting like a bitch, and I'll take responsibility for the fact that I'm doing that. And then I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry that I was a bitch. You should have just came to me, and I would have stopped in the first place. You didn't have to be a bitch to me. Instead
Yeah.
of instead of being rude back, and then me being like, hey dude, you're being really rude, and then them being like, yeah, well, I'm only doing it because you're doing it. Fucking, you're not taking responsibility. Take responsibility.
Balaya. Sorry.
That shit is so
But
stupid.
Balaya knows it.
That shit is so
Love you.
stupid. When you come to somebody with a way that they're acting, and then they go, oh well, you're acting like this. Take responsibility for the way that
Grow
you are
up.
acting. And I am literally being mature and coming to you and saying you're acting this way. You have no right to be like, oh, but I'm doing it because you're acting this way. How the fuck are you gonna be so
Makes no
immature,
sense.
bro?
Makes no sense, yeah.
That's so immature. It disgusts. That's how it makes me feel.
I wish y'all could see JL's face when she did that. That shit was
I'm
funny.
so fucking pissed. That made me heated, bro. Because it's so.
ASMR. Hold on. Sorry. Oh God. Yeah. I think what my therapist told me one time, and she said, "I'm just gonna tell you something, honesty. This was like 2 years ago." She said, "Family are the biggest hypocrites. They know everything about you. They'll
Amen.
judge you every step of the way, no matter how successful you
Hello,
are.
hello.
No matter how successful you are, they're gonna judge you along the way." And you know what? Sometimes it does get to me. Actually, when people judge who I'm dating, it kind of hurts because it's like, I'm happy for this person.
That's why
And I try to not let it get to me, but I hurt for the person feeling that. Like, what
that's
if that?
why
I don't know.
blood isn't family. Because just think about it this way. Your whole life growing up, you've been competing with your siblings the whole entire time.
Yeah.
For your mother's approval, your father's approval, your
Mhm.
grandparents' approval,
Mhm.
your aunt's approval, your cousin's approval, your siblings' friends' approval. You have been fighting your whole entire life to prove to these people that you deserve to be getting taken care of. Because what
Yeah.
do they tell you? I brought you into this world. I can take you out of it.
Then do it.
Fucking do it. I wish you did.
Then when you react, you're the toughest.
Then
They
you
they
act,
like
yeah.
they say
Then they're like,
you're not
don't talk
family.
back. Blah blah blah.
You're not family. You're not part of this family. Get out. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, dude, you don't
Like,
belong
take
here.
responsibility for being a fucking asshole yourself.
Damn. R.I.P. the weed pen.
Mine?
Yep.
Mmm.
Dude, it's so bad. But then as soon as you're this amazing great person, they worship the ground you walk on, and they're like, "Oh, I raised that." No, the fuck you didn't.
Yeah, and you want to know something else? And then when when you have grandbabies, they wonder why you don't let them see them because you were a fucking asshole to them.
Growing up, dude. Yeah.
God.
You know where I hit my head yesterday?
What's
Dude,
over
that
here?
shit hurts so bad. There's like an indent.
Oh
in my,
yeah.
there's a bump on my head.
That was funny.
Ow, bro.
No more. No, yep.
No, it hurts.
Look
It
like Patrick
itches.
Star over here.
Don't be mean.
Mm.
Server.
Hmm?
Yeah, I really just wish like people knew how to take responsibility for what they do and learned how to like listen to people and listen to like feedback. I wish people knew how to take
Feedback. I'd be a good manager doing that.
feedback, like criticism.
Criticism makes you a better person.
Yeah,
It made me a better teacher. I think so.
it's so. Dude,
Being
I'm like
tough,
trying to think of like times that I've been a hypocrite about this, just so that people can't call me a hypocrite. But like, I can't think of like anything. Like,
I mean, there's a
people will
lot
be
of
like,
things I could think of, but they're not in my head. And I'm sure there's things of you could think of me in my Go ahead. Like we're pretty easy to call each other out. Not like big
Yeah,
things,
but
but
I
like
can't
easy.
no, like things about this, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like going and telling somebody, hey, you're being a bitch, and
Yeah.
then like
We were not really not hypocrites towards each other.
nobody comes to me and tells me that I'm being a bitch until I'm calling them out for being a bitch.
But they don't do it to your face. They do it over text.
And then they don't do it to my face. But I'm like, what the like? What do I tell you every time you're being an asshole? I say, Brandon, why are you being an asshole
No,
right
this morning
now?
when I walked out,
I said, why are you being an asshole right now? And you said,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually kind of hurt too. See, I actually sensed that too.
See, but like, I'm so straightforward that when you're acting a certain way, I'm gonna tell you
No.
because I would rather you tell me, hey, you're acting instead of like, but
Fucking
all
sus.
all the people around me will just start acting a
Yeah.
different way, and then I'll be like, why are you acting that way? And they'll be like, oh, well, you're acting this way, and I'm like, dude, stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. No.
But anytime anybody has come to me and been like, hey, dude, you're being a bitch,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, sorry, it's my personality. If you don't like it, grow the fuck up.
I'm mean,
Be an adult, you know.
but I'm not mean to the point where it's like I'm making shit up. I'm mean to the point where I'm telling you that the way you're acting needs to change because if you're around me or the way you're treating me needs to change, or I'm like, hey dude, like why are you acting this way towards this person? I don't really like that. I don't want to be around you if you're going to continue to do that. And I'd rather remove myself from the situation before you start acting that way towards me. If you're going to continue to act like that. Like I go up to people, I confront people because I want them to be in my life. If you're in my life, it's because I see something in you and I want you to be in my life. And I want you to grow as a person and I want to help you do that. And in return, I would think that you're going to help me grow as a person. But if you're acting a certain way that I don't like, or you're acting a certain way towards other people that I don't like, I'm going to tell you and I'm going to be like,
yeah. So that's what I feel. That's what I understand.
You know, and if you're not going to take responsibility for that, or you're just going to say, I don't care that you don't like that, I'm going to continue to do it, I would rather be able to remove myself from the situation so that, one, I don't start acting that way.
Yeah.
Two, I don't diminish myself as a person instead of grow as a person.
Yeah.
And three, because I don't want you to start acting that way towards me.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want to act that way towards a person. So, like, why am I going to do that? So, I'm going to call you out and I'm going to ask if there's a reason why you're acting like this and I can help you get through it, or if you're just acting like this because this is who you are.
Yeah.
And then I'm either going to remove myself from the situation or help you to understand. And then you're going to grow as a person.
Yeah. Constructive criticism.
But if they're not going to take responsibility for those actions, then I am of no use to you and I do not want to be around you. I just like to glow. Like
I just like to glow.
I like to be this little beacon of bright light. I like to be happy and outgoing. That's why I'm always dancing at the gym, bro. That's why I'm always making jokes. That's why I'm always like interacting with people. Like even if it's just making people awkward, because it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh afterwards.
I love making people happy.
Like I love making people smile. I pray every morning that I put a smile on everybody's face that I come into contact with.
When I'm depressed, it helps me making people happy.
Yes, and even in the morning, if I wake up and I'm like super sad, I'm like, Lord, please give me the strength and the wisdom that it takes for me to get through this day, and please help me to put a smile on everybody's face that I come into contact with.
Yeah.
That is in my prayer every morning. And every morning when I come across somebody and I talk to them and they turn around and they walk away with a smile on their face and I say, thank you. Then I say, give me another. Because I just want to make people happy. Yeah. And I know that sometimes I be making some rude ass remarks, but it's just because I'm trying to be like funny and sarcastic. And I read the room and I make sure that it's like the right person. Like I give Wyatt so much shit, but it puts the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ka-ching!
I love Wyatt.
And then there's sometimes I'll come across a person and I'll be so nice to them, and even if it's I don't even know. I'll find something.
Yeah.
I will find something. They turn around and they're like, I don't care. If I'm making people happy, I feel rich.
So I think that I think that's why
Anyway, that was so off topic. I just wanted to.
bitch,
I
now,
just like being a beacon of light.
now I need to tell my story of light.
Okay, go.
Yo, I don't know. I think I don't know. I love making people smile. I love things that give back, like rescuing animals. Things that give back. I feel like giving back is something that you've always received. You know, and I think um. And when I'm out in public, I usually give a homeless guy $20 or something. But like, just doing good makes me feel good. You know? Buying things for people makes me feel good.
Taking that back to
Something I
the.
never had, you know?
Oh yeah, I get that. Totally get that. That's why. That's why. Have you realized that whenever anybody is over and they act like they do not want to go home,
Yeah.
I'm like, you can stay as long as you want. I do not give a fuck. I am so welcoming of whoever wants to come.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to come to my bus and is like doesn't want to leave. I'm just like, okay, go ahead. You can stay here. My home is your home. Eat away.
My your
Like I'm
land.
so excited because like if you don't want to go home, I've felt that pain before. I've felt the pain of not wanting to go home and just wanting to feel welcome somewhere. And I just want to be that welcoming. Like yes, join me.
Yeah.
That's why anybody who's like, you want to be on your podcast someday? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I just love being welcoming, dude.
Oh,
And who knows what that person is gonna bring? They want to be on it for a reason. They're gonna bring something that somebody needs to hear,
yeah.
and I believe that,
We'll get it out of them because we always get off topic.
dude.
Actually,
And on that note, thank you for joining us this Wednesday for I've Lost It with MJ and Sean. We'll see you next week.